Okay, everybody, quick ball mastery session. This is going out to a couple of specific coaches for a session tonight within the club and the sports centre, but we'll keep this general as well. So using here Soccer Profile in terms of how I structure these sessions, it's really quick and easy to put together a little session plan, which is one of their big features, but here's one of my diagrams. So ball mastery. So again, you can have any amount of kids really in this space. I mean, that's probably not true, but you can work with 4 kids, you can work with 20 kids, as long as that classroom management part is in good. You've got a good voice and you can get a little control of the classroom. So arrival activities once you come in, foot on the ball, little joggles, or passing in twos, that kind of thing. No whacking the ball around the room or the space. We always suggest here that there's some sort of perimeter to what they're doing, else the kids will find a way just to run all over the place. And we always joke, that if the ball goes outside the perimeter, it will explode. Certainly the younger you go, the funnier that is. The older you go, the weirder that is. But some sort of perimeter is good because the players work well within some sort of boundary, and it also gives you a little bit of classroom management and a chance to sort of, control them a little bit, right? So once we've established that and the sort of rules of the coach, whistles and freeze and stay here and smile and foot on the ball and listen to coach, you can do that. Once we can start with a little ball mastery session, we love this as a very first session with any group. And obviously the complexity of it could vary based on whether you're working with the youngest kids or whether some older ones, but everyone's going to enjoy a session like this. Basically, it's a play with the ball, and goals would be we're going to touch the ball 500 times in 15, 20 minutes, something like that. So free dribble to start with, how they might move. Talk about slow speeds. We talk about ones, twos, and threes. 3 being the highest, where you're going as fast as you can, but you're remaining in control of your body and not crashing into anybody. 2 in the middle, and 1 is slow but not a walk. So we usually start with a 1 speed, so they have sort of concept, and then it's 1 claps or whistles. I do both. In case I can't whistle one day, or I run out of chapstick. But whistle and clap, and then something on that. So there's toe taps, there's shuffles. We've got inside, outside, sideways rolls, outside, inside, bottom of the foot, going backwards. You can start to throw in just all sorts of variations of these things, and we like to do little combos. We can throw in the Corva skills, working on outside, inside, outside, inside, 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 outside, and this can be really endless. We would always encourage our coaches to work on some form of lateral movement. So you can and I'll start to do it with my shoulder here. You can start to work on the idea that players are going to just start to feint. Or throw him is a huge part of being a good player, whether you're beating someone 1v1 or whether you're just finding a little space to move or a little change in angle or just having someone lunge or overcommit, any of those things. That little drop of the shoulder and that sideways movement is huge. We like to talk about clock face. If we're facing 12 o'clock, then maybe 2 o'clock, pushing the ball with your right foot, and 10 or 11 o'clock, pushing the ball with your left foot, and just accentuating that drop of the shoulder. Those kind of things, and it really sets the kids up for 1v1 stuff later on in the program. But here is just loads of touches, individuals, changing directions, throw in some turns, some rollbacks, simple right foot, left back, left foot, right foot, left back. You can have players turning, with a rollback turn where they turn and face the ball. So right foot, turn to the right, or left foot, turn to the left. Or the opposite of that, where they turn and they just sort of close off their body really fast, but it's quicker. So right foot, turn to the left, it just happens quickly. So it's really endless. I can spend a long time in this area, especially with the youngest groups, the 7, 8s, and 9s, just getting comfortable with the ball on the foot. Making it competition, the players might sort of, drop off a little bit in terms of intensity, if that's the right word. So it could be that, we start to challenge them. I'm looking for the fastest feet in town, those kind of things. Who's going to show and point them out? Who's going to show me the best little bit of skill? Who's going to show me a little bit of speed? Who's going to show me this? Hey, that was Johnny. That was Sarah that time, whatever it might be. And then see if you can find a way to motivate them within the group regarding the things they do. So a little competition, speed changes, 1s, 2s, and 3s I mentioned before, and remaining under control. And really that's probably, even with all this stuff, that's probably, with a couple of breaks, it's probably half an hour of stuff that they can do. You could maybe then extrapolate this further to start to talk about staying away from each other as they move with their ball and head in the air. I've seen some great coaches do the whole thing about, numbers in front of your face, and as the kids are moving the ball, they're calling out the number that you've got, so they can get their head up and just feel the ball under the bottom of their feet. So that's a typical ball mastery session for us. If I click over to something like this is a curriculum that we wrote a long time ago. Some ideas. I mean, here's the majority of the things we just spoke about. We can get into joggles and body skills, those types of things. Little combos of three. So maybe it's a thigh, a foot, and a catch. We're doing it on the move. Maybe it's one-footed, 3 right-footed, and a catch. Finishing with a catch can obviously help the kids feel a success, because joggle sessions could they end up with with a loss, right? I'm going to go as many as I can, and I get 6, and I drop the ball, and I stretch for it, and I fall over, and I can't get 7 for the rest of the session. Kids can feel a little defeated with that, even though they're practicing, and that's good. So we'll often finish with a catch. Thigh catch, good job, do it again. Thigh catch, do it on the move, right foot, left foot catch. Those types of things. And the speed dribble is something we just spoke about just a second ago. So again, within the Soccer Profile platform, really easy to set something up like this, share with your coaches. But that's something that I think is very, very doable. And again, the big thing is just to get control of that classroom to start with, set a perimeter, set a boundary so your voice can be heard, and then get control with, on my whistle and clap. This is where we stood still, free stand still, foot on the ball and smile. No talking right now, give you instruction. And once you've got control of the group at the very, very start, this thing can fly by. And I personally love this stuff. I could do this for a long time. So there we go. Hope that helps. Take care.